Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Totally Tuned In. On BeLive, when you're just before I go live, there's this countdown that goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm sitting here during the countdown going, oh no! Today there is resistance. Resistance is showing up. As much as I love this daily commitment to doing Totally Tuned In, I just missed one day because I was traveling to Paris. I was on a plane at the time, but otherwise, since I committed, I've been showing up every day, either on my own or interviewing somebody. Hey, Emma! So today has been an interesting morning. I've been busy and focused on stuff and wanting to get stuff done, and thought, oh, maybe, and I have already created an exciting interview for Monday with Sabrina Muller. Please do tune in on Monday. She's got a very interesting story about how she really overcame adversity, from ghetto to badass boss babe, it's called. But for today, it's just little old me, and I thought, what will I talk about? And I wasn't feeling inspired about anything, and then I caught it. I thought, there's a resistance. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to show up really honestly and authentically and talk about that, and talk about why resistance can show up and what to do when it does. And yeah, be as honest as I can, really. I was just journaling also beforehand, and here's a top tip. Before, if you're feeling resistance to something, think, well, how do I want it to go? How do I want the experience to go that I'm feeling resistance about? And obviously, I want to really share some valuable information. I want it to help you so that if you're feeling resistance, that you'll push through it. So here's the thing, it's very interesting. When we are up leveling, we can experience something called an upper limit. So it's not always the case that it's an upper limit, but I thought that that's very useful that you can be aware of that. It's actually something I cover in Totally Mindset Reset program, my 6-week program. It's a book called The Big Leap from a guy called Gay Hendricks, and he shares how when things are going well, how we can sabotage ourselves or hold ourselves back, and the reasons for that. So I came across some quotes from him, and I thought I would share them. So just first of all, just to speak to the word resistance, how it can show up. You might, have been feeling really pumped and, say, yeah, things are going really well. And then suddenly you wake up and you don't feel as pumped, or you start to lose faith, or you think, oh, well, you'll make excuses as to why you can't create something towards a result. Always be outcome focused, always have a result in mind. Why are you doing whatever you're doing? So for me, the result that I want with Totally Tuned In, I decided, I committed to, I thought, well, to start with, or maybe to end with, I don't know. I've decided I'm going to commit to 100 episodes of Totally Tuned In, which I'm excited about. And hey, I'm on episode 13, all's going well, more or less. And what is the result? Why would I do that? Why would I commit to 100 episodes? Well, for me, it's just practicing sharing my voice, showing up every day, and it actually raises my vibration always when I share like this. And just having that daily commitment and showing up at a particular time, there's nothing like a schedule to make sure that you do what you need to do. So, whatever outcome you're working on, whatever results that you want, think, well, how am I going to get there? And schedule it in at the same time every day, some aspect of it. That's a really powerful thing to do. So that's the result that I want, to do 100 episodes, and to interview people, to connect with people, to get to know people, to share my voice, get comfortable with it. And to be honest, it's not reaching a huge amount of people. I know a lot of people watch the replays, and I appreciate the messages I get. And I'm okay with that I'm not having a massive audience yet. I do believe that it will come. It might come until the 100th episode when I finally really promote it on a massive level. But so far it feels good to me. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And the result that I want with it, it's obviously to share my voice, get more confident, and to grow my audience. And of course, also to get some clients, because I work privately with clients and run group programs as well. So that's my reason. So I'm not sure if today was actually kind of upper limiting really, but I thought I wanted to share, I don't know if that was the reason for my resistance. I just had a lot going on and didn't feel so inspired. But here's some things that I thought would be useful to share regarding that topic. So Gay Hendricks, here's some quotes from him. The first one says, "I manufactured the stream of painful images because I was feeling good. Some part of me was afraid of enjoying positive energy for any extended period of time." Isn't that really interesting? And I can promise you that I've definitely, my vibration's raising, and in general, I've been really, feeling that. And I thought, that's interesting. I've been feeling that positive energy more so. And, the subconscious mind, what it wants to do is pull us back to what it's used to, what's familiar, our comfort zone. So that can be a reason why resistance shows up. It's very sneaky. Another, hey Penina, oh bravo Penina. Penina has just shared her first live stream training on her personal page, and I'm so proud of you, Penina. I can't wait to watch the replay actually. So yeah, the first of many, no doubt, the first of many. Isn't it amazing how we can just reach people like this? Okay, so Penina, I'm talking about resistance and something called upper limits that Gay Hendricks, he coined that term, upper limit, which is really when you feel when things are going well, and then you go, whoa, and you sabotage yourself. So it's really good to recognize that and realize what's happening so that you can then push through it and expand instead of shrinking, right? Okay, so here's a good one. Hey, Pema. So the second one is, this is a longer quote. He says, "I have a limited tolerance for feeling good. When I hit my upper limit, I manufacture thoughts that make me feel bad." How crazy is the human mind, huh? "The problem is bigger than just my internal feelings, though. I seem to have a limited tolerance for my life going well in general. When I hit my upper limit, I do something that stops my positive forward trajectory. I get into conflict with my ex-wife, get into a money bind, or do something else that brings me back down within the bounds of my limited tolerance." It's really interesting, that's can be a deep-rooted belief that causes that, like, oh, something's going to go wrong, it can't get this good, it's my life doesn't usually go so well, and then of course we get what we believe, and that reality shows up when we sabotage ourselves. So really just check, what the mind is doing when that's happening. Become your own, like, the specimen that you're studying. Observe yourself and ask yourself the question. This is the quote number 3. How am I getting in my own way? It's like, when we're focused on our vision and we get out of our own way, then flow happens. And, then we can really, when we're going with the flow and feeling aligned and it comes from our heart, then we can really connect with that outcome and feel passionate about it. But sometimes our mind, that's what he's talking about there. When we get in our own way, our mind will put us get in our own way, get in their own way of that vision, which was really going wonderfully well until we suddenly decided, oh, maybe today I don't need to do it, or maybe today I shouldn't, or whatever excuse comes up and we get in our own way, or oh well, nobody cares anyway, nobody's listening anyway, something like that. Okay, so quote number 4. Each of us, this is a good one. Each of us has an inner thermostat setting that determines how much love, success, and creativity we allow ourselves to enjoy. He calls it an inner thermostat. I call it a set point, which I learned from David Nagel, that we all have this set point that we are willing to tolerate stuff in our life, and that's where we feel comfortable. He calls it an inner thermostat. When we exceed our inner thermostat setting, we will often do something to sabotage ourselves, causing us to drop back into the old familiar zone where we feel secure. Very interesting. Okay, quote number 5. Your capacity expands in small increments. This is good. In small increments each time you consciously let yourself enjoy the money you have, the love you have, the love you feel, and the creativity you are expressing in the world. I love that. Right now I'm expressing, this is creative, right? And I'm allowing myself to enjoy it. As that capacity for enjoyment expands, so does your financial abundance, the love you feel, and the creativity you express. I really like that lately, that that notion of expanding and physically expanding as well. You know, since a young age, I was the tallest in my class. I was called stalk legs. I'd love to be called stalk legs now. But I remember I used to hide and, you know, I used to hunch over. I can remember my mother saying, "You'll be like your grandfather," who really hunched over. And she was saying, you know, and part of it was hiding. And I still, you know, I can still feel that there. So I'm consciously working on expanding that and taking up space. And, you know, it's a worthiness issue as well, you know. And yeah, I'm worth it to take up space and expand in this world. So maybe that can help you as well, you know, that mental image of just allowing yourself to take up space and enjoy and receive all of life's goodness. Number 6, if you focus for a moment, you can always find some place in you that feels good right now. Your task is to give the expanding, positive feeling your full attention. That's gratitude, right? When you do, you will find that it expands with your attention. Let yourself enjoy it as long as you possibly can. So of course, wherever our focus goes, that expands. So it makes sense to focus on what's going well in my life right now. What am I grateful for? What do I appreciate? Number 7 of 10 points, by the way. It was very humbling to realize that my worries were there just to make me miserable. Interesting. It was even more humbling to realize that I was the guy who had his finger firmly pressed on the misery button. It was wonderful, though, to discover that I also had the power to quit pressing the button. We all have that power, and it's a matter of taking responsibility for that, to quit pressing that button on our worries. Number 8, if I could consider even for a moment that I was not upset for the reason I thought I was, I could break out of the trance I was in. Interesting, huh? It's like, oh, you know, maybe I'm not really, maybe I'm just sabotaging myself here. I could break out of the trance I was in. Then I could begin to see what the real issues were. So get curious, you know, and be open-minded. Number 9. Number 9 is a question, and it's a very good question to ask yourself in these situations. What important feelings am I not letting into my awareness? What important feelings am I not letting into my awareness? That's a really good one too, you know, myself included, to just drop in and breathe and think, what am I feeling? What am I really feeling right now? And to allow it. What important feelings am I not letting into my awareness? I'm guilty again of just, you know, and it's often fear. It's like, oh, if I really drop in, there's fear there too. And that's okay, you know, but just to breathe and acknowledge it and accept it. We're not trying to push it down, you know, but just really become more aware of who we are, and that's it, yeah, awareness and accepting of it all. Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford is an awesome book about accepting all of you. Self-love, I talked about it yesterday in yesterday's episode. Number 10, the final one. Getting stubborn and defensive invites the sledgehammer. Getting open and curious invites the feather. I just love that. And he says, it took me a long time to figure out who was in charge of the painfulness of my lessons. Isn't that really interesting? We're in charge of the painfulness of our lessons. You know, we're the ones that make them painful. So getting open and curious invites the feather. So I love that. It's really interesting. I love that, feather as opposed to sledgehammer. And it's interesting because that's what I'm working on right now. I'm about to share a 3-month program called Totally Heart and Soul. And my vision for that is to really have the feather approach and not the sledgehammer to our lives, to our business, you know, not going and forcing, but really opening. And so when I read that, I thought, oh my God, that's a perfect analogy. I'm going to use that a lot, you know. That's all the feathers, lightness. So they're the 10 quotes from the book. It's a really great book called The Big Leap. I wish I could show it to you. I just don't seem to find it. I think I've lent it to somebody, but I'm going to order it again because it's worth reading. It's one of the classics. It really is. A great one to be aware of. If you're working towards goals and growth, which I hope you are, because we're here to grow and enjoy and benefit from this amazing life. And if you notice that you're not getting to where you want to, it brings great clarity on how you might be sabotaging yourself. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Emma says, oh my gosh, I just dropped in at number 10. I couldn't hear. Oh, well, it was perfect, Emma. You love that. All about feathers. You're a beautiful feather. So, okay. There's one final thing I want. Well, two things. The usual, the 3Gs. I'll finish on, but there is another thing to think about. You know, like I said, and this was in point number the one about taking responsibility. Number 7. It was very humbling to realize that my worries were there just to make me miserable. Oh yeah, that I was the one. It was even more humbling to realize I was the guy who had his finger firmly pressed on the misery button. So it's interesting, you know, when you realize that you're creating your own experiences, and, you know, when you can drop in and think, well, what am I feeling right now? So for me, here's a great example. This morning when I was thinking, oh, you know, it was about, well, 10:30, and I thought, oh gosh, I don't have a topic yet. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just skip today. And so a great thing for me to think about then is, you know, well, what is my outcome that I want? What did I commit to? Why did I commit to doing this every day? And remembering that, reminding myself of what my outcome was, right? And then asking the question, is the current belief going to give me the result I want? So the current belief was, maybe not today, it's okay. And, you know, I'm sure if I skip today, then I'll get in the habit of skipping other days, right? So yeah, staying committed even when you feel resistance, that's the topic. So it's like reminding yourself, you know, when you have a commitment is why? Why did I make that commitment? Why do I want this? And it might be looking at, yes, hell yes, I'm worth it. And, you know, that goal, that outcome is, you know, I'm really excited about. And yeah, just reminding yourself of that. So is the current belief going to give me the results I want? Well, obviously my belief this morning was not going to give me the results I wanted. And then the next question, what action do I now need to take in order to get me the results I wanted, the result I want? So, well, I took that action. I typed up staying committed even when you feel resistance and shared it and said, that's episode 13, that's the topic. So that's been it, you know. And I think another important point there is sometimes we overthink it and think, you know, it has to be really good. And, you know, just showing up honestly as yourself. Well, Emma, I'm thinking of you now, you know, for singing, it might be, well, if you're writing songs, Emma's an amazing songwriter, by the way, if anyone needs a song written, contact Emma Lynn. So for you, it might be, you know, just writing from the heart, whatever you're feeling that day. For me, it's speaking from the heart, whatever I'm feeling that day. And that's all we need to do. We are enough, and to show up exactly as we are and authentically. You know, Panina is another person, I'm not sure if you're still on, Panina, but I know, you know, you really feared that you might cry when you were sharing, you know, that you might get emotional because she was just sharing something very personal, but very powerful. And, you know, we just need to be ourselves and show up as we are, honestly. You know, we're human. And for anybody that's watching and thinking, oh yeah, but I'm resisting, you know, doing live streams, for example, just be yourself. Just be yourself. You can't go wrong with being yourself, and just allowing that and believing that right now it's perfect. Okay, so the 3Gs to finish up on is to think about what 3 things you're grateful for. So you can just, if you're watching the replay, you can pause it and really think about, okay, what are 3 things that I'm really grateful for right now? Let's bring it up a notch today and say, oh my God, what are 3 things that I'm so massively grateful for? Massively. I know for me today, I don't know why, I'm just, well, this happens often, but really this morning, just so much gratitude for my children, my 3 children. Oh, you're welcome, Panina. So that would be for me. Just think what for you is that you're massively grateful for. You know, there's so many things. Our health, nature, you decide, okay, what you feel massively grateful for today. Not what you should feel grateful for, what you actually feel grateful for, what you actually appreciate today. It could be something very simple. So that's just the gratitude part of the 3Gs. The 3Gs, I like that. I just made that name up. The 3Gs. The second G is goals. What 3 goals are you working on? What are you committing to for your growth? So if you don't have 3 goals yet, think, okay, what 3 goals am I going to create? But it's always great to have something to commit to. And then, you know, like me deciding on the 100 episodes. So what 3 goals do you want to commit to? I'm going to write mine down. kind of abbreviate mine. I know them so well. And the final one is 3 guiding affirmations. 3 guiding affirmations. So I forgot to prepare guiding affirmations for today. Well, really what I recommend is that you use guiding affirmations that guide you towards your goals, whatever your goals are. Or I sometimes just share it related to the topic. So a guiding affirmation to stay committed even when you feel resistance would be, I let go of all resistance and know that I'm worthy of achieving my goals. I like that one. I let go of all resistance. I consciously let go of all resistance right now, and I know that I'm worthy of receiving my goals. Another one could be, life is getting better and better every day. I'm open to receiving more and more joy every day. So consciously deciding that, reminding yourself, instead of saying, oh, upper limit, it's getting too much fun, I better sabotage myself with the subconscious mind, which, you know, and so maybe another affirmation could be, and I'm sure actually I can't remember if Gay Hendricks has them in his book. He probably does have some guiding affirmations for working through upper limits, but it would be, yeah, I'm receiving more joy every day. I'm feeling new levels of joy and love and abundance every day. I'm receiving more and more joy, love, and abundance every day. Oh, there's a great one. I expand in love, joy, and abundance every day, and I inspire those around me to do the same. I love that one, actually. Oh, and that, I've just remembered. I think that's actually from the book. It is, it's from the book. That's one that I memorized because I loved it. I expand in joy, love, and abundance every single day, and I inspire those around me to do the same. That's it. Okay, so as you can see, this was not so prepared, but it flowed, I think. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was valuable for you, and I hope that it will make you think about, you know, when you're feeling resistance, what the reason for that might be, and most of all, always stay outcome focused. I have something on my wall actually from Kat Paterzo. It says, I can be patient for the things I really want and believe are in alignment. I'm outcome focused always. And so I'll wait as long as I have to wait, and I'll keep showing up, all the while still believing it's done now. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed it. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. I will be live with Sabrina Muller with our topic from title to, from ghetto to badass boss babe. Really interesting. And she's going to be talking about how you really truly can have it all in life. So I'm excited about that. You have been watching episode 13 of Totally Tuned In. Thank you so much for watching, and please do share with your friends. Thanks, Emma. Bye.